We've been walking for about 15 minutes and we're just about to set off up the trail to do some plein air painting. I'm going to show you my kit that I use when I go out plein air painting, and we'll be exploring just the whole theme of plein air painting in our lessons and in the Fearless Artist community this month. So I hope you'll join me and get outdoors and paint your views. I'm just a few minutes from home. This is actually the view from the end of my driveway. We're just a few 100 yards past, and we're about to head up the trail into the forest to the top of the hill. And here I have my plein air kit. I've got a tripod for my camera. If you're going out plein air painting, you won't need that. But I like this little stool that doubles as a well, not quite a backpack, it just has one strap. But I can fit my plein air kit inside of that stool and have a place to sit when I'm out camping or hiking or plein air painting. And I will be showing you what's in there once we reach the top of the hill. I love that opening up in the path up ahead, and the pink paintbrush growing beside the trail. There are more views further down the road, but we got tired of walking and a little overheated, so I think we're going to stick around here. We've got a field and a lovely sky full of clouds. And the first thing you want to do when you're plein air painting is really just to look and pause, kind of immerse yourself in the environment. Yeah, well, there's a few things that are a challenge when you're plein air painting, and a few things you want to watch for, so we're going to talk about that just a second here. Feeling a little sweaty. So we're out here, we came to paint. When we start thinking about plein air painting as our time to paint what we see, you're actually missing the point of plein air painting. Plein air painting is really more about immersing yourself in your environment and taking in your surroundings and getting that out on paper. The impressions that you're feeling, your emotion, your connection to your sense of place. So that means if you're not inspired by the vast panorama, that is okay. In fact, sometimes you might find yourself captivated by a little square inch of ground right at your feet, or the feeling of the light streaming and the colors of the light, but not the actual objects themselves. Whatever you're painting in the moment, when you're in that place, when you've paused to take in your surroundings, those are the things that inform your plein air painting. It doesn't have to be about catching the scene exactly the way you see it. We're here to be one with our environment. And if that seems hard to do, well, you're doing it right then, because it is hard to do. It's hard when you're surrounded by, maybe you're an urban sketcher and you're surrounded by cars going by and people walking past. Maybe you're here in a natural environment and there's bugs and there's crazy dogs hunting mice right at your feet, and traffic noise off in the distance, and the light changes every few seconds because the clouds are moving across the sky. And all of those things present a challenge for a plein air painter. And I think the way we overcome that is by kind of becoming one with it, rolling with it. We can fight or we can fly. That fight or flight mechanism, flight, we get to fly, we get to flow with the things that are happening and make them a part of what we're painting. If I'm hiking, this is my plein air carry-all. It's a little folding stool, so I have a place to sit while I'm painting, and everything else is designed to fit on my lap. Samantha, hello. Samantha's going to help us unpack this little painting kit. So Sam, do you want to pull out an item and I'll describe it? This is my painting pouch. This pouch goes with me not just when I'm painting and hiking, but all the time. So it's got my go-to kit for watercolor painting. We'll open that in a second, but let's see what else is in the stool first. Okay, a spray bottle, very useful. Paper towel, fixing mistakes and managing water. Water brushes, which as you can see I've never taken out of the package, but I keep thinking they might be useful one day. Little clips for keeping my paper from blowing in the wind. There's bug spray in a different pocket, and tape as also for keeping paper under control, and a pencil. That's basically it. Okay, throw those back in and we'll take a look at the zippered pouch. Usually I keep my favorite brush in here, my Escoda Versatile number 10 Rigger, and a sketchbook with watercolor paper in it. And then my portable painter palette, that's that one. And we're gonna get a good close look at that in just a second here. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at the very basics that I use when I'm plein air painting or traveling to paint. And that's down here. I have my favorite brush, my sketchbook, and all of this fits in just one little pouch. And then my portable painter palette. And this is one of my favorite things for traveling to paint. I don't use it in the studio because it is pretty small. But this little ingeniously engineered palette contains half pans that I filled with 12 of my favorite colors. These little water compartments slot on. Hopefully I'm not wiggling too much. Oh, and the dog came to see what we were doing. Hi, Ari. Usually I'm not this clumsy, but when a camera's on, all bets are off. These two little pieces, this clip holds everything together when it's not in use, so we don't want to lose it. So it just slots onto this little rubber band and slides onto the water container. And that's even ingenious and useful because your brush can actually tuck in behind there. Voila! Now the cool thing about this is, once I've filled these water containers, you can set it on uneven ground and it will not tip. Or if I'm sitting, my palette fits right on my knee so that I can sit and paint and it doesn't fall off. And it fits on my knee or on my thigh, just depending on where it fits most snugly, and I'm all set to paint. These little half pans, the palette comes with additional half pans so that I can take them out and put in different colors if I wish to, depending on where I'm painting, which I think is really awesome. So when I'm painting outdoors, I don't need an easel. I'm all set up just to sit wherever and paint. I'm going to improvise on what I see. I think a lot of plein air painting is improvising. Oh, something's dripping on me. Okay, I'm painting. So I got a sky. I put a little bit of pink in, but I kind of regretted the pink. I hate to tell you, but there's no paint over there.
I know, I'm coming back.
You have to share my palette.
I found a strawberry though. I'm getting the flowers.
I'm going to make the distant trees really soft and the nearer ones really fluffy. I actually brought extra brushes. I'm very excited that I have my other favorite brush here. Why are you barefoot?
Because
Step on pokey things.
I didn't step on pokey things. Okay, I'm gonna paint the flower.
Oh, good idea. Stick it in my water container.
Oh, then it won't die.
See, and as soon as the sun comes out, everything gets super yellow and bright. One thing about painting outdoors is that things dry at a different speed than they do indoors. It's very disorienting.
No, because I don't paint indoors.
No, I know.
I don't know if that's the right pink.
And then I have this purple in here, which doesn't really show up in my landscape, but I'm going to use it anyhow because I really like it. Oh, actually there's one little fireweed over there. So I'm going to just exaggerate that, make it into 100
like
fireweeds.
red?
Yes, it's a red.
It's very red.
It's like a magenta-y red.
Change a little bit. Would it be okay?
Just use all the colors. There's no wrong way to do it. Just don't drip on my pants like you just did. Oh, somebody's purple.
You sprayed the whole thing. You ruined my painting.
So pretty. You made it better.
I thought it was raining for a minute.
So I didn't mean to get the paper, I just meant to get you. I think it kind of looks like a wild meadow though. Even though it's a little bit imaginary. I think I should actually stop. Like I feel like I really like what I've done, and so why am I obsessing about it? I would like it if I should actually have like 2 sketchbooks so that if I do something in one, then I can set it aside to dry, and then I'll have a second one to work on. Well, we packed up and we're headed home, and we found that it's very distracting to have a dog along. She's such a cutie and she's a lot of fun to take places, but it does make it hard to settle in and paint for a long time, and that's okay too. We came out here to enjoy the day, to see the world, and we did that. So it feels good to be headed home, having spent some time outdoors and knowing that the trail home is all downhill because it was a lot of climbing to get here. What did you say about this part of the trail?
This is where Dad does wheelies.
On the quad when you guys come up here.
He jumps it over that.
That's the times when I'm not riding with him.
Look at this color. Look how bright it is. Look how bright it is. Look at it.
Whoa!
What did you find?
We should have just painted the dog the whole time. She's like the best thing about our day.
I'm not the best thing about your day.
I don't know, are you the best thing about my day?
I should be. Look at this.